Hey everybody, Mountain Man here with another episode of Hunter 101, episode 4 to be exact. This episode and the next few episodes, we're going to be going over the different weapons in the game, rifles, shotguns, handguns, and bows. Each episode is going to handle one of those. This episode is going to be about rifles. We're going to go from the 223 Docent all the way up to the 338. I'm going to give you my thoughts on them, how they function, different stuff like that. We're going into detail about what you're going to use them for, what the integrity bonus is on certain animals, and things like that. So, we'll jump right into it, but just another reminder, social media accounts are in the description down below. Go give those a like or a subscribe if you want to be on top of when I upload videos and when I do other stuff. And as always, if you like the stuff, give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe here on the video. Really helps out a lot. So, getting into it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to load them up on our bar. So we get the 233, 7mm is going to go up here. We get the 243, and then we've got the 270. That just leaves us with the 338 and the 2 lever actions. I'll get to the lever actions after I go through all the regulars. So, first weapon is going to be the 223 Docent. Now the 223, very, very low caliber compared to some of the other ones in the game. Really, the only thing that this is good for that I found is for red fox and roe deer. You can technically take deer with it, other deer with it. Your shot has to be perfect. You can take coyote with it. Again, shot's got to be pretty darn good. Past that, it does give a 100% integrity bonus on every other animal in the game, but I wouldn't really recommend hunting with it. Your shot placement has to be absolutely exact at close range, and I just wouldn't really recommend it. It's just not that good of a weapon for that sort of thing. However, the 223, at least in real life, and it is kind of reflected here in the game, is great because it has a very flat trajectory, meaning that you can shoot over very long distances. This helps out quite a bit when you are trying to go after fox, because fox tend to see you at shorter distances, so being able to shoot them at longer distances is always a good idea. It comes in the standard soft point and polymer tip, just like everything else. You can equip all the different scopes onto it, so you can do the tritium sights. That's what it looks like with the tritium sights on. You can also equip the Red Raptor, the holographic sight, and then of course the Ascent, the Hyperion, and the Argus, just like all the other rifles, with the exception of the lever action. So I would use this strictly for doing fox and roe deer. If you want a challenge, you can certainly try the bigger stuff with it, but again, you're going to have to get some really nice shots at close range to really have a chance of downing them in one shot and not having them just run away and bleed. Next one is going to be the stock rifle that you are given at the beginning of the game, the 243. Now, this is my favorite caliber for real-life deer hunting. The 243 Winchester is a great little rifle, a great little cartridge. I used to have a Ruger American rifle chambered in 243. A lot of people think you need a 30-06 for deer or a 270 for deer, and yeah, you can hunt them with that, but I find that the 30-06 just beats the snot out of you. The 270 is still just a little overkill. The 243 is great because you can set it up for target shooting. You can set it up for doing varmints at long range. You can do deer with it. It really depends on what you put in for a cartridge, but it's a nice versatile little rifle, which is probably why they make it the stock rifle that you get in the beginning of the game. All the different scopes can go on there, so you can do tritium. Let's see here. Do the tritium sights. You can do the Red Raptor, and of course the Ascent, Hyperion, and Argus. This rifle will give you a 100% integrity on everything in the game with the exception of red fox. So roe deer and up, it'll give you 100% integrity on. Really shines on those small animals. Roe deer, fallow, coyote, blacktail, whitetail. It'll really shine on those. You can certainly do bear with it if you have proper shot placement. Boars, it will take down boars. I wouldn't really want to go after anything bigger than that, though. Moose, elk, red deer, bison, while they can certainly be taken down by the 243, I wouldn't really want to bother with it, to be truthful. I think that it's just going to be way too underpowered. You're going to have to get close. You're going to have to get an exact shot. Not really worth the hassle, if you ask me. Moving on up to the next one is the 270. 270 is not a bad rifle. In real life, I actually quite like it. you can do the tritium sights, the red raptor, ascent, Hyperion, Argus, the usual stuff. 270 gives you 100% integrity on whitetail, black bear, moose, and elk. It also gives you 100% integrity, I believe, on fallow deer. Do not quote me on that. I believe it's 100% on fallow and up on Hirschfelden. Do not use it on red fox or roe. You will not get the integrity bonus. So it really shines for the deer species, and it's still powerful enough that you can reliably take bear and moose with it. Red deer, certainly. Bison, probably a little touchy. Elk, definitely. I would feel more comfortable using a 7mm for the bigger animals, but you can certainly use the 270 and still get 100% integrity bonus. And 7mm, one of my favorite weapons in the game. 7mm is a break action rifle, the first of two, and what that means is that it only has one shot. So you got to make that shot count. Thankfully, the 7mm is a little powerhouse. It has quite a lot of stopping power. It works great for elk and moose. It does give you 100% integrity on black bears. Works great on red deer and bison. I believe it does not give you 100% integrity on boar, though. So using it on boar and Hirschfeld is probably not a wise idea. Again, tritium, red raptor, ascent, Hyperion, Argus, the usual nonsense. We'll go on to here. So let me just show you this. One shot, and then you need to reload. As I went over in the last video, which tree is it in? This tree. Yes, so the 7mm and the 338, the two break actions, are not affected by muscle memory. So you will still get out of your scope to reload it, whether you like it or not. If they add a manual reload option to the game, that will help this not be an issue, but unfortunately until they do that, there you go. There's not much we can do about that. And we're going to have to go back to get the next couple rifles because you can only carry so much at once. Alright, backpack. We're going to throw this, that, and that. We'll get out the Range Master, the Whitlock, and the Coachmate. Alright, so the last regular rifle, before we get into the lever actions, is the 338. 338 is a powerhouse. It is a monster of a rifle. It will knock down a bison very reliably. It works great for moose, and it works great for elk. I do find over longer distances, though, it is pretty inaccurate. A lot of bullet drop to it. 150 to 200 yards, you're probably just fine. Past that, though, you really ought to have the zeroing perk, otherwise you're not going to be hitting anything. And as usual, tritium, red raptor, ascent, Hyperion, Argus. You're only going to get 100% integrity, I believe, on elk, moose, and bison with this. Red deer, I think, are right out. It is, like I said, a powerful rifle. So if you want to reliably take those animals down, use this because it's going to do it every single time as long as you properly place your shot. That being said, I think the 7mm is a better rifle. And a lot of people probably argue with me on that. Well, but the 338's got more power. Well, yeah, it does have a little bit more power, but it is more inaccurate over longer distances. But the 7mm will still reliably take down all the animals that this will kill, and it gives you 100% integrity bonus on more animals. So you kind of have to balance more than just the power. 7mm has better range, a little bit less power, more integrity on more animals. I find that I run with the 7mm more often than the 338 if I am doing a specific hunt, going out for specific trophies of a specific species of, say, elk, moose, or bison. I will certainly take the 338 if I'm not anticipating killing anything else. Just because that extra power is nice, and it's not hard to sneak up on them. It's just my thought on it. Next one is the 30-30, our first lever action rifle. Now, lever action rifles in this game they kind of have a weird niche to them. So the 30-30 is congruent with the 243 in terms of its power and what it gives you integrity bonuses on. It supposedly has a shorter range. It does have a shorter range. Well, let me explain the ranges for you. So you have effective range on these weapons, and the effective range is the point at which the bullet's kinetic energy drops significantly enough that you are not going to kill an animal with one shot. Unfortunately, on the lever actions, the effective range is not shown here. Great. Cool. Awesome. I want to say it's 100 meters. I know it's 86 yards, which I think is 100 meters. Let's see here. Oh, why doesn't it show up there? Interesting. Anyway, its effective range is about 100 meters. Past that point, don't even bother, because you're not going to have enough kinetic energy to down an animal in one shot. That does not mean it isn't accurate out to 150 yards. It is super accurate out to 150 yards, which is kind of weird because the real-life version of this weapon is not. It's hard to say. Past 75 to 100 meters, it's just going to be bad. It's going to have so much bullet drop that it's just not going to be accurate. It does give you an edge on reload speed. It reloads very, very quickly. So you can have a follow-up shot almost immediately. So it's great when you're in tight brush where you need to maybe take up a follow-up shot. It does offer increased power of the 243. So, if you're going to be taking close shots under 100 meters, I say go with this over the 243, honestly. It has a smaller magazine on it, so it carries one less bullet. But I don't think that's really a big deterrent to using it. The only downside to this is that it only has 2 sights available. It has tritium sights, which, as of the time of recording, don't work at all. Not one bit. Can't turn them on at all. So, obviously, that's a little bugged. I'm hoping they fix that soon. The only other sight it has is the Helios, which is a 4x8, which means that you have less of a zoom, which won't ultimately matter simply because you're taking shorter shots anyway, but it does have that really, really dark field around it. So you have less visibility. That's one of the major downfalls of this rifle, is just the fact that the scope is not very good. But then again, the rifle doesn't really need it to be very good. The second and last lever action is the 4570. The 4570 is congruent with the 270 in terms of power. It is a little bit higher in power than the 270. The same caveats as the other lever action rifle, though. The 30-30, it doesn't have as long of an effective range. Only able to equip one scope. Tritium sights don't work. And it does have less ammo in the clip, or in the magazine. You only have 3 shots. But it reloads them pretty quickly. I do like the lever action rifles. I do enjoy using them. But again, if you're shooting over long distances, it's not worth using these, because they're not going to have the kinetic energy to kill stuff at long distances with one shot. You're really going to have to track it. And then at that point, your integrity bonus is gone. So those are the rifles. What do I recommend? Well, I usually run, if I'm going to be hunting with just rifles and I want to cover all my bases, I will run with the 243 and the 7mm. Because the 7mm will cover all the big animals and give you 100% integrity. The 243 will cover almost everything else and give you 100% integrity. The only thing the 243 won't cover is red fox, and hunting red fox can suck it, because I hate it. It's terrible. More often than not, I think I've only killed maybe 2 or 3 foxes in this game, and that was over very long distances because they didn't realize I was there. The moment you hear a warning call from a fox, just give up, because it's not worth it to me. It's just too difficult to hunt them in for too little reward. Yeah, they give a little bit more reward than deer, but in the same amount of time it takes you to kill one fox, you can go kill multiple deer and get the exact same amount plus more experience. Not worth it. So I typically run with the 243 and the 7mm. Again, that just covers all my bases. That means that I've got 100% integrity on everything. If you are just starting out, you get the 243. Keep it as long as you can. Don't bother buying the 223. I wouldn't even bother buying the 270 if I'm honest, because you can down black bear with a 243 with no issue. Next purchase should be the 7mm. You can get away with the 270, but I would save up my money, get the rifle score, and get the 7mm, and then just go from there. Because I think that's going to give you the best bang for your buck in terms of time spent and money spent in getting the rifle unlocked. And again, that'll just help you cover everything. Just make sure you get all the different scopes. And remember that just because you can equip the Argus over the Ascent doesn't necessarily mean you're going to want to do that. Make sure you have all the sights available to you. You could probably get away with not using the Red Raptor, if I'm honest. I don't really like the Red Raptor. I don't get much use out of it. I'm sure some people would like it, but as it stands, I think the only use for it really is on handguns. But each of these scopes has specific uses. If you're shooting short range, use the Ascent. Medium range, Hyperion. Long range, Argus. Don't use the Argus when you're shooting in short range. Vice versa. It's that simple. Well, I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope that it was informative for you. If you want to know more information on the next few videos, just let me know, and I'll definitely put it in. Next video, we're going to be going over the shotguns. It'll be a pretty quick video, just simply because the shotguns, well, there's only 2 at this time. And then we'll probably go handguns and then bows after that. So make sure you subscribe if you want to know when I upload the next ones, and we'll see you guys there. Take care, everyone.